Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with opening up a booster box of Clout Fantasy. This is the second time I'm doing a big dumb purchase for this game. I remember last year. Yeah, these boxes are getting hard to find. Yeah, I'll be opening up some of the packs on video, and then the rest I might have to do off video because things take too long, or it seems like there's going to be a lot of interruptions. Hold the microphone a little bit closer. Let's see the microphone I use. And then I still have a tray from the War Chest games, game and expansion that I'll be using for sorting this out later. Let's see how many dragon chips I pull this time. But yeah. Let's see how many I'm going to have to take a glue stick to and fix the stickers, because that is one of the things that happens with these old packs. Let's try not to mess up too much stuff here. So we have Border Marshal and Honor Guard. Very expensive chips in terms of the clout points. Yeah, well, adhesive is uneven. Versus the actual surface area. There are like a number of licenses that I would like to see with this game in terms of bringing the system back. Like, for one example, there's Warcraft, because hey, that's also fantasy, but it's an actual license that people recognize. Or StarCraft, go into the sci-fi road. Yeah, let's fix those later. Arrow attack, strike 3, and it flies. Hit the sky units. Flaming arrows. This somehow managed to be the booster of damage maneuvers. Yeah. Gonna take some work. Bring that a little bit closer. I still need to finish making the little cloth mat that I have for this game. Being a square meter by a square meter. And a border chaser. Frontier Ranger. Strike 2 and fly. Okay. I'll probably start stacking them a little bit. It's fine. What I really hope to find out all this, though, is like more dragon stuff. Because that's the thing with the boosters. There's one common, and then one uncommon, rare, or dragon faction chip. And then the dragon faction chips themselves are either common, uncommon, or rare. Caver. Reborn Scout. Support 1. That one's particularly rare. Interesting. But yeah, I've gotten my federal and state returns back between this week and last week. So last week was getting this and also a little board game called Constantinopolis. And those arrived pretty recently. I'll be doing Constantinopolis episode pretty soon. Rotting Zombie. Royal Trent. Okay. Try to rotate. I'm hoping I pull enough lower clout point stuff to be able to mess with the starter stacks a little bit more. Because... Or just make up a freaking rule of, hey, if we can agree to play to more clout points for the stacks, just so people can have more fun with the big point stuff. Hey, there we go. Juvenile Dragon. Yeah, the yellow and black is why it was an inspiration for something else I have, game idea wise. Yeah, Hidden Fort base. Yeah, this is just such a crazy ass game. I wanna play with it more often. I'm sure it's something. I'm sure it's something either kids or adults who are okay with playing games of throwing stuff would really enjoy and get a kick out of. The Trade Road and Banshee Whale. Interesting. I'm still waiting for the local library close to where I live to open back up after the renovations are done. I'm going to start setting up events during the week on a weekly basis, just to get more people interested in tabletop games and maybe guide them towards the game store. It's a rare dragon. Action. Coordinated Strike. Raise 1. Limited to a single copy of this chip in your stack. So, between the 3 I still have and the 2 I've got, that makes 5. Yeah, I don't need to keep anything out of it. This one for holding on to the boxes. I have one of the booster boxes, the first one that I got, pinned it to my wall along with one of each of the booster packs, just because. It's all stuff taken out, though. Right. Bone Cavalier. Pit Trap. That one's actually rare. Attract and strike 1. Interesting. So I'm lining up the rares, the uncommons, the commons. Except for the dragons that are going there. Something else I've been also maybe trying to keep in mind is developing a collectible card game or something. I know there's a shit ton of them already, and most people have their favorites. But I think it would be interesting to at least try. So we have the Watcher and the very rare Plains War Veteran. That's... What's that name? Yeah. It's a high points chip. I have to remember what half the abilities are, because holy crap. Yeah. Like, maybe something based on one of my worlds that I've been building. Maybe Uncity or something. I don't know. Rat Maze Warrior. Field Marshal. I was watching a video earlier today by Redbard about apparently there's a One Piece card game by Bandai in the mid 2000s. Because apparently that series was getting dubbed by 4Kids, so here's yet another card game. Bonehound. Necro Neophyte. I probably have a ton of them. That's another pain in the ass thing about the game is the limit 3. Anyway. But yeah, it's crazy what kind of card games they're trying to come up with for different licenses way back when. Like Dot Hack Enemy. Also remember Yu Yu Hakusho, City of Heroes, and Eve, the Second Genesis. What do we have here? Assassinate, destroy one. But it's very short range. So you have to be pretty damn accurate with that one. Yeah, I remember Yu Yu Hakusho being kind of frustrating if you didn't have like really good personalities and shit. I think I only got into that one because, hey, everyone's getting into this one. You should too. Okay, let's get some to start out with. Even though I never watched the show. Or God's Chosen. And... Ooh. Just big magic. Raise one. I also remember really had a good group going for Lord of the Rings card game. I want to say it was around the time the 7th set for the game came out that they got their shit together and made the game better. But that one was interesting. Hobgoblin Captain. I'm getting close to the one. And Warbug. Alright. Yeah, it's just an interesting thing to try to calculate of how much interest is there in this license right now, and will there be that remaining interest when we actually get the game out? Battering ram and tribal champion. Ooh. Getting a lot of goblins this time around. Alright, this stack's been building up. Yeah, this is the one thing about doing the licensed game is to figure out is how long is this series going to remain interesting that we can keep having the a card game or other collectible game based on it, that people will keep it going. Grave Lurker, who makes 2. Mushroom Man, Repulse. It's uncommon. It's like with the Dot Hack Enemy, they were able, they kept that one going for 5 sets. Which brings into the next issue of not just how long are people going to be interested in the game and the series that it's based on. It's how much material do we have to work with? Hobgoblin Captain. That makes another one of those. Already. A rare base for the undead. Carrion Keep. That's interesting. The plastic quality is notably different on that one. Yeah, it was clear getting into like the later sets for Dot Hack Enemy that they were running out of ideas. It was like, I mean, it was already bad enough with the palette swaps that the game already went with anyway. But just the squad of this type of monster, so it shows 2 of them. It's like, oops, we're running out of ideas. Forest Canopy is also a rare. Okay, I've pulled so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rares other than the dragon ships. And even in the dragon ship, I pulled a freaking rare. Yeah, there's only so many different monsters you have to pull from in that game before it starts running out. And Lord of the Rings is running into the same problem. They're also using stuff that was like cut out of the films too. Like Tom Bombadil. Or it might have been an extended edition only. Deep Woods Bird. That's a common. Show me something cool. Another Banshee Well. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what the symbol is. I think it affects only enemy factions, I believe. Would make sense. That's the other thing to keep in mind with a game is terminology. terminology that actually makes sense and is consistent and such. Now, summon, destroy, draw, discard. Those are pretty straightforward things. What's not so straightforward is Navia drop. Border Hunter. Another rare. Jeez. Move one. Attract one, strike two. Couldn't fly. Yeah, Navia drop was. It was an interesting concept for a game. Of you have your Navia, who can summon these monsters and use these crystals to flip them and do extra stuff. I have pulled the stack limit of Banshee Whales out of this booster box already. I'm not even. I am past the halfway point as well. But yeah, I think it was a good game that it needed better execution in terms of getting people interested. Because here's one of the frustrating things about it is you would get a starter set and it would just be for one player for the pieces, but it had the board and crystals worth for two players. Rampaging Trent. Treant or Trent? But yeah, it was one of the games I had in the. I think I sold it back in 2021. That auction where I basically purged the vast majority of my board game collection just to make space. And if I had realized, you know what, I actually want to try to be a VTuber. Or a PNG tuber. You know, look at you, little skeleton dude. I probably would have held on to my shit instead. Another rare, Divination. An action to command and boost 3. Command 1, boost 3. Nice. Going to go through all of these and fix all the freaking stickers. Right. Yeah, I have a good number of those games back. At the same time, I've gotten those games back and also sold them off again. I'm trying to settle on a collection. I would prefer not to sell anything more out of what I still am holding on to. Have another Assassinate. I still have games waiting to go on the used game shelf at the game store. Maybe they're just waiting for other used games to sell, or maybe they're just busy. I don't know. But if something doesn't happen within the next month, I'm going to just deal with it on my own terms. Home Guard Lancer. Protection 2, strike 3. It's not too bad. The question is, what else do I want to get from the game store at this point? Anyway, I don't know. I can always stand to get a new Jessex battle mat. This specific one is the Mega Mat. Yeah, Mega Mat. I think there's a epic freaking sized one too. The one I could probably put over both tables if they were lined up properly. There's, like, this table is a little bit, it is a considerable portion this way, on the other, and the back table is that way. Because otherwise I don't have access to my locker. I have another big magic. The stack's getting a little too high. That's fine. I'm gonna start putting extra stuff down here at some point, or just put it off to the side. It doesn't really matter. And put it behind the rares, or gonna start or behind the commons. It's fine. So there is one game at the game store I am been recently thinking about. I used to own it. I never got to run my copy. I got to play someone else's copy at least once, maybe twice. Bone Cavalier. War Dragon. Nice. Oops. I skipped one in my sequence. That's fine. The game I'm thinking of is called Dungeon Lords. For up to 4 players, you have your little minions. You send them to gather food and mine your dungeon for money and go get rooms and traps and other stuff. Field Runner, strike 1 and move to uncommon. But it is ultimately a worker placement game. And worker placement games occasionally tend to piss me off. I have Lords of Waterdeep because the flavor of the game is fucking awesome. And it's a good game. Warrior. Infiltrator. Strike 3. Place. You can just straight up, it goes there. You don't have to throw it. It is very precise. But yeah, Dungeon Lords is just kind of a silly little game. And I am tempted to get that one again. Precisely because that one's just kind of fun in a way. In that sense. Home Guard Squire. Uncommon. Have to start. 5. Start stacking them behind the commons for now. But aside from that, aside from the game I already got, I'm about ready to just wind down the collection. We finished out the Board Game League last week. This recent Tuesday, I got to go play Power Grid. game store. And then the game store owner dude was talking to us about how the league would be going forward. So instead of all the money going into the league funds, what would happen is half the money would go into the fund, and half the money would go into accounts for actually buying shit at the game store, like card sleeves. Necro Siren. Attract, immune to destroy. Get people away from their base. I have begrudgingly decided that I will continue to participate in the board game league for now. But I don't know, I'm just getting burnt out on it a little bit. I've been burnt out on it for the last year and a half. I'm just... I don't know. Find something else to work with. Sepis Keep. Rare base for the undead. This makes 2 rare bases for them. Interesting. But yeah, this is... A lot of my issues are... I think some of the trash talk goes a little too far. I get someone's playing slow, it sucks. But comparing them... I think giving them too much shit for it is a little too much to me. Caravan Stop. Another rare base for the elves. That's 2 rare bases for the elves and 2 rare bases for the undead. One of the things that kind of frustrates me is like, you have all week to read the rules for the final. You come in on any day that you have the time and just go over it on your own time. Or the internet is usually pretty good about having those rules online somewhere. It's not that hard. Look them up and just see for yourself and learn them ahead of time. Poison Mushroom is also rare. What the hell? Ooh. And maybe also take that time to look up the errata and all that. And just figure out that stuff on your own time and before the final. Or Charioteer is a common. Shit. I'm gonna have to... I don't want to cause any confusion at the end of this. Shaman Rapoons. Command 1, unique. And rare. So this is what I have pulled for rares out of this whole fucking thing. Pit Trap, Border Hunter, Poison Mushroom, Caravan Stop, Forest Canopy, Divination, Shaman Rapoons, Plains War Veteran, Sepis Keep, Carrion Keep, Reborn Scout, and then 3 dragon ships of War Dragon, Juvenile Dragon, Coordinated Strike. When the Coordinated Strike's the actual rare out of that one. But the dragons are hard to come by anyway. So that's 12. 12 rare chips out of 36 boosters. Some pretty good odds. Yeah. We get to go sort through all this crap now and see what alterations I can do with each of the stacks. I'm still... Yeah. I need 9 more dragon chips before I can have a playable stack, and I need at least one of them to be a base. Scratch that. I need exactly one of them to be a base. Because if I get more bases, then they can't be used. Because you're limited to 2 bases per stack. But, yeah, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to see what I actually have to mess with. Take a glue stick to some of this and get them to stick again. I'm thinking some of these are just a little bit too big compared to the chip. That I might have to cut them a little bit just to make them fit. But I try not to mess with stuff like that too much. Yeah. This is definitely a bring on Saturday or bring to people who are curious about games in general. It's like, or a party. It's like, here's this game about throwing chips onto a playing field, and you're trying to play them, and you're trying to throw them in a way that'll be, within range of your bases for bonus points, and you're trying to keep them alive for, keep all your stuff alive for their points. Just have the most points at the end to win. Yep. Alrighty, that is opening a booster box of Clout Fantasy. I'll probably be sorting through this while waiting for the video to upload. And then I'll be getting a constant up list ready for the Pillarless tabletop games. So, look forward to that. Alright, thanks very much for watching. This has been Pillar Nexus. I will see you next time.